Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Well, I was so pleased that you guys enjoyed the reveal of the Easter basket, and I was equally pleased in how it turned out. And when I read some of the comments, it made me very happy to know that some of you will take some of the techniques, the design, the style of that Easter basket, and use it as you make it your own. So I also understand that not everybody wants to make an Easter basket. So I thought I'd put out a project or two that are Easter themed, but not necessarily an Easter basket. So what I have here for today's project is this really cute mini milk carton holder. And we made the mini milk cartons earlier, but this time I'm grouping them in a set of 4, and I created a little holder for the 4 that I made that will fit. So I am not going to be doing a tutorial on making the actual milk carton itself. I will link the tutorial in the description box for the mini milk carton. What I am going to focus on is making the actual holder for this, and it will hold 4 mini milk cartons, the size that I made in my previous video. So if you guys are ready, let's get started on making this. Okay, so for starters, we will need a piece of decorative paper that measures 9 by 9. And I did get a question about whether or not I buy my papers pre-cut or I actually cut them to fit. And the answer to that is I cut my papers to fit, because most of the projects that I share with you guys are items that I have designed. So I do cut my papers to fit the design. And this started out as a 12 by 12, and I've cut it down to 9 by 9. And what I want to do is score this at 1.5 and at 3 on all 4 sides. Okay, so once our paper is scored, we're going to fold and burnish the score marks, and we're going to get a nice crisp burnish on these. And once we've gotten our scores burnished very crisply, we are going to come back and remove some pieces from our paper. And all we're doing is we're going to remove the 3 corner pieces from all 4 sides. So all I'm going to do is come in and cut up to my second score line, and then I will angle cut and angle cut here, and I'll remove this piece. And I'm also going to do a slight angle cut on this tab. So let's do one more, and then I'll do the remaining 2 off camera. So I'm cutting up to my second score mark, and then I'll come in and do a slight angle cut, and then I will just go ahead and angle cut this piece, and then I'll do a slight angle cut here as I remove these 2 pieces, and then I'll come back and remove this piece, and I'll lay this down so you guys can see how it looks. So when I'm saying angle cutting, what I'm doing is notching out small triangles in between my tabs, and it just makes my box close a lot easier. Okay, so once we've got everything cut, we can now put the box together, and I'll be putting the box together using glue, and I'm still using the reptile glue on my projects. So all we're going to do is place glue on our tabs, and then we can put the box together. So I'm just going to bring it up, come in with my bone folder, get that glue nice and stuck, and I will do this on all 4 sides. Okay, so once we've got the tabs glued in, we're going to fold back these outer panels, and then I'm going to place some chipboard here. Now, you don't have to place chipboard, and if you choose not to place chipboard, simply take these and glue them down and fold them in. But before I fold mine over, I am going to place some chipboard because I want just the added stability that I get from my chipboard. And because this box will hold a little bit of weight, since you're going to have 4 filled mini milk cartons in it, that's another reason why I'm using chipboard, because I just want to make sure that everything is going to stay in the way that it's supposed to, that the bottom won't sag. So all I'm doing is lining the inside of this box with chipboard. Okay, so once we've got our chipboard pieces in, I'll come back and just glue my tabs and fold them in. So let me just fold this over, and I'll come inside with my bone folder and just smooth it down. There. So now what I want to do is, I have a piece of chipboard that measures 3 by 3, but I know I'll need to trim it down a little bit, and that's going to line the bottom of my box. So let me just go ahead and I'm going to take off a little bit of this, and I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I might need to remove some pieces. And then I'll just keep testing it to make sure that it's going to fit. And I need to remove just a little bit more. So if you are going to use chipboard, start out with a piece that measures 3 by 3 and then cut it down to fit. I think I can take off just a little more. And then I'll come in with my glue and just glue this down. And let me just get my bone folder, come back, and smooth that out. Alrighty, let's just put our boxes in to make sure that everything is going to fit before we move forward. And these are already filled, and they are going to fit, and that's going to be very cute. So what I want to do now is I want to make this middle section. And to make this middle section, we are going to start out with a piece that measures 3 by 12, and we're also going to start out with a piece of chipboard that measures 5 7/8 by 3, and we'll probably have to do a little bit of trimming, but we need to get the scoreboard, because what we're going to do is, so on the 12-inch side, we are going to score this at 1/4, at 6, and then we're going to turn it again and score it at 1/4. And then all I'm going to do is just fold this and fold up my ends, my little 1/4-inch tabs here, just to make sure everything is going to be good. And I'll set this to the side. Okay, so then we want to take our chipboard piece, place it in just to make sure that it is going to fit nicely. And it is. And we're not going to do any trimming to it yet, because we want to go ahead and punch our holes. I want to go ahead and punch the holes to get the that oval look. So all I'm going to do is turn this and try to get this as centered as I can. And then I'm just going to bring it around, press once, and then I'll come here and press again, and that'll punch out my oval. And then I'll do the same thing with my piece of chipboard. So I'm going to place it in, try to get it as centered as I can. And then I'm going to press down once, come back over here and press down again. And that'll cut through my lightweight chipboard. And then I can take this and place it on the inside and just see if my oval is matching up. And I'll turn it over because it might match. And if it isn't matching, what that means is that I simply need to trim off just a little bit at the top. So don't do any cutting of your chipboard until you have actually punched your hole. And then you can go back in, make sure it's going to fit, and then you can start trimming it. So I'm okay with how that looks. So now what I'll do is I will take my glue and I am going to place my glue on the chipboard, and I'm going to go around my oval and just get this nice and stuck. And now I can place this inside, matching up my oval. And then I will press that down. And then I'll place my glue on this side in the same way that I did the other. Let's just get this nice and stuck. Come back in with my paper towel and clean up any excess. Now what I need to do is I need to trim off all of this because that is too much. So where I've got my little folds at the bottom, I know I need to come back and trim off this excess, and I need to be careful that I'm not cutting through my paper. Okay, so now what we can do is we can take our glue, and all I'm going to do is put glue on the bottom of this and get it nice and glued because I want this to stick, and then I'm going to place it down inside. But before I do, I see that I've got just a little bit of overhang, so I'm going to come back, clean that up, and then I should be good to go on placing this in. Okay, so let's open that up. Let's take this piece, place it down in, and on the inside, and then I'm just going to eyeball it to make sure that I've got it as even as I can get it in terms of being centered. So then I'll come back when I'm pleased with it, and I will simply press down the glue that I had on those 2/4 inch tabs, and then I'll press down because I also put glue on the chipboard bottom. So now I can get this nice and stuck. And let me come back in with my bottles just to make sure that they're going to fit. And they do fit. Okay, so now at this point, what I want to do is I want to come back and I want to make smaller dividers for the inside. And what I'm starting with, I have a piece that measures 3 by 6. And I'm simply going to cut that in half. So I want to make this 1.5 by 6. Okay, so So then what I'll do is I am going to get this out of the way. I am going to take this and simply fold it in half. Fold it in half again on this one. And then I can take this and fold it in half again. And now I want to make sure that it's going to fit, and I can see that I need to trim off just a little bit of this. And you'll want to test yours as well, so start out with a 6x3, trim it down to a 1.5 by 6, and then do the fold over method that I just showed you. And if you need to trim it, trim it. So I'll test this one. This one is good on that side. So all I'm going to do at this point is position this right in here. So I am simply going to take some glue, glue that shut, and then I'll place glue here and glue here, and then I'll come back and just get this nice and stuck on the inside. You know what? I need to place some glue right here. Otherwise it's not going to lay flat. So then I want to just come in with my bone folder and get this nice and stuck. And then on this one, I am going to test it, and I can see that I need to cut off some more. And now I can just do the same thing to this one. So I'm going to fold these back, and I will come in with my glue, place my glue in here, place my glue here, and my glue here. Close this, and then I'll place some glue right in here. And then I can take this, feed it down inside. I'm going to look at it to see if I've got it even with the other side. Come in with my bone folder and just get that piece of paper nice and secure in there. So you can see how that looks from overhead. It looks pretty good to me. So I am going to take my little bottles or little cartons and just place them in. Okay, so all that's left is to decorate this really pretty box. So what I've decided to do is I want to take some rickrack and bring it around the entire box. So I'm going to do that with just a little bit of glue. And I'm not going to do a whole lot, just a little. Just enough that I can get this rickrack nice and stuck. And then I'm going to bring it, starting at the back of the box, I'll bring it to the front. And my glue will dry clear, so I'm not really worried about whether or not any of it is showing right now, because it will dry nice and clear. So let me get that rickrack stuck. And I will bring this piece over. And then I'll bring this piece over. Straighten out my rickrack. You can see how pretty that is. And then I'm going to take just a little bit and lay it down here. And then I have this really cute little sticker that says Easter is here. And I got this from my sticker pack. So all I'm going to do at this point is I simply want to place it down on my box. So I'm going to add some glue, place this so that it's sitting just like this, because I can't have the bottom part overhanging, but I don't mind this overhanging look at the top. I think that's actually quite pretty. So I'm just going to hold this until it sets up just a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got this on, it just looks so pretty. So what I want to do, I'm going to do something very simple here at the top. Since I've got this saying here at the bottom, I'm just going to take some ribbon, tie a bow, and then I'm going to attach that bow to the box itself. And I think I'll attach that right up there. And I'm going to attach it just using some glue dots. So I'll take my glue dot and place one there. And then I'll place the other one on the other side. And I'll place one right here. So now I can take this and just position it just like that. And I think that that just gives it a nice, cute little topper. So let's cut off some of the excess ribbon. Let's take our milk cartons and place them inside. Okay, so there we've got a nicely finished mini milk carton holder. Okay, so I'll bring the other one in so you can see them side by side and you get to see how cute they really are. They are so adorable. The mini milk cartons really look great sitting in here and they just scream Easter. The colors are just perfect for Easter. So I hope that you guys have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, but you've liked this project as well as other projects you've seen, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.